Welcome back. Today for a 2-page layout, I'm going to embellish with papers printed on the jelly press. I'm Emilee, and you've found Emilee's Paper Caper, where we're all about scrapping our stash and getting some pages done. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Hit the subscribe button and bell icon so you don't miss any ideas. My husband took these beautiful photos at sunrise one morning, and I just love those colors in the sky. So for a non-traditional type of color scheme for winter photos, I chose this peach background paper to pull out the colors in the sky. And I have selected some prints from my gel press that will complement the photos. I'm going to cut circles, as many circles as I can from these prints, and then embellish the page for a very simple layout. I will have 8 photos on this page, which is quite a lot. I'll have to trim some of the photos just a bit, like maybe 1/4 inch from one edge. Otherwise, I think that I can do a page with the 8 photos, keeping the focus on these photos and the colors in them. Now, I'm using these gel printed papers, but you could do this with any pattern paper. You could create your layout based on any theme or color selection that you'd like. I'm using the Creative Memory circle cutter set, but if you don't have one of these, you could also just cut circles using a tracing around just about anything you have in the house. A plate, a cup, a jar lid. Don't feel like you have to have a cutting system to be able to do this. You could also use paper punches. You could use circle paper punches. My goal here is to stretch this paper as far as I can, so I'm cutting out as many circles as I can possibly cut from this paper. I've been having a lot of fun with my gel press lately, and there is a video series and a collaboration if you want to check it out. I'll link to that down in the description and up in the card. There's a lot of great ladies with lots of ideas for gel press, and they've inspired me to try some different things and then use my papers on my scrapbook projects. Certainly creates a unique design that you can't recreate with store-bought paper or pattern paper. Puts some of the things I have in my stash, like paints and inks, to use. And so I've had just a fun time with that gel plate. I was talking to some of my scrapbook friends, and they really have not used a gel plate. They're curious, but they haven't used one, and I would say it's not for everyone, but it's easier than what you might think, and something you might want to give a try. If nothing else, it's fun to watch people print things out on their gel press. It's pretty creative. Like this background I did with a toothbrush to create that pattern. To give an idea of how this layout will look, the before I trim the photos, I'm going to just see how much space I have. I want to break up some of the photos a little bit. For this series and this series, I will trim 1/4 inch off the top of these photos and one of the sides of these to give a nice border. And then in the background, I plan to scatter these. For the photos I didn't trim, I'll mat those on these 4.5 by 6.5 photo mats. I recently did a video about photo mat options. That's up in the card if you want to check that out. I happen to be using some pre-made photo mats here, but there are other options that you can create your own photo mats with papers you have on hand. As you can see in that video how to do that. Okay, now that I have the photos ready to go, I am going to work on the background and get these ready to go. We will do all the adhesive first, and then we'll go in and scatter them in the background. I'm very curious if you have a jelly press or if you've thought about getting one. I would love to hear, if you do have one, the techniques you like to use with them, and if you use the papers you print on your scrapbook projects, or maybe you use them for mixed media projects or card making. But I'd love to hear your ideas and what you do with your gel prints. I'm only lightly adhering these circles to the background right now because when I start placing my photos, I want to be able to have some of those circles or portions of them overlapping portions of the photos. So you saw me move a couple of those circles off the page, and then I've just placed them on top of the edge of one of those photos. I think that elements touching on a page kind of give some connectivity and helps the eye go through the page. So I like to overlap things, especially if I'm not covering up anything important in the photograph. There, I moved a couple of those circles again so you can see what I mean. And my friend Erin gave me this awesome rest for my ATG gun, and I'm not used to using it just yet. Sometimes I still set that gun down on my tabletop, but you also see me put it in that holder. I think it's nifty. Thanks, Erin, for that gift. Now I'll tuck this matted photo under some of the circles. The only thing left to do here is a page title and to date it. I want the focus on these photos, so I chose to put the page title in white letter stickers. It says Snowy Sunrise. Let's keep on scrapping our stash together. I'm always trying something new and different and trying to use what I have on hand to create my scrapbook layouts. Here are links to a couple more videos so we can keep on scrapping our stash together.